Well, you're bringing up family, so let's talk about that elephant in the room, because your family has not endorsed your presidential candidacy. In fact, they've said in part, your siblings, Rory, Carrie, Kathleen, Joseph, put out a statement on X that said in part, the decision of our brother Bobby to run as a third-party candidate against Joe Biden is dangerous to our country. Bobby might share the same name as our father, but he does not share the same values, vision, or judgment. Today's announcement is deeply saddening for us. We denounce his candidacy and believe it is perilous for our country. And then others went on to say, we cannot do anything that in any way strips even one vote from President Biden. You put the Kennedy name on the ballot, and Democrats are going to feel torn. They also said they love you personally as an individual, but not your candidacy. How did you feel when you read all? Did you know that was coming?
Yeah, I knew it was coming. And, I have a big family, Dr. Phil. I think there's something like 105 cousins, and a lot of them are supporting me. Several of them are working prominently in my campaign. My cousin Anthony Shriver, who is helping run my campaign in Florida, and he has a daughter who, until recently, was in the senior staff level of my campaign. But, my family, listen, we were raised to differ with each other on issues. My father orchestrated debates between us every night at the dinner table, and they differed with me on a lot of issues. They differed with me on COVID, on the lockdowns, for example. They differed with me on the Ukraine war. And my family has a very close relationship with President Biden. So President Biden has a bust of my father behind him at the Oval Office. I've known President Biden for 40 years. It's not just a political friendship with my family, it's a personal friendship. They actually like him a lot, and they're very loyal to him. And 5 of them, including some of the ones that you mentioned, actually work for or with the administration. So I understand their distress, but I love my family. I feel loved by my family, and I feel like I can argue with them in a way that is congenial, that is spirited, but at the same time, I'm able to love them. I wish that for the rest of the country too. I wish that we could have civil debate again without hating each other.
I wonder if people think, I don't know Robert Kennedy Jr., but the people who do know him are saying really biting and critical things about him. They know him better than I do, so who am I to second guess them? They know him better. Was that their intent? Did they really intend to torpedo your campaign? Because as an outsider looking in, from a psychological standpoint, I think people would say, I'm going to substitute their judgment for mine because they know him better than I do. How do you keep people from substituting this judgment for their own?
There's an entire national press out there that is very opposed to me. What I would say to people is just listen to what I'm saying rather than other people's characterizations of me. And that's the most I can do. I know that what I'm doing right now is what I'm supposed to be doing. So I feel comfortable in my soul with that decision, and I'm working as hard as I can to make sure that to save this country. But ultimately, it's in God's hands. I have to work as hard as I can. And the slings and arrows that I take from people outside need to be irrelevant to me.